Now a story of sportsmanship in the stands. It's not always pretty out there with fans heckling officials and opposing players, clamoring and elbowing to get their way for an autograph, grown adults scuffling for foul balls. You know who you are. So when we caught wind from Canada of what young Keaton Hamin did at a hockey game last season, we were heartened and impressed. In an era when fans go to great lengths to secure that prized piece of memorabilia, Keaton's actions, especially for his age, were refreshingly selfless.
Myers works it away from Brown, walks in, scores!
Go Jets, go!
After a long summer's nap, Winnipeg is awake.
Go Jets, go!
And hockey is its caffeine.
It just drives the city. It drives the conversation.
Go Jets, go!
In fact, on the calendar, Christmas morning has competition from opening night for the NHL Jets.
I think it's because we didn't have an NHL team for so long, and we realized how much we missed them.
For 10-year-old Keaton Hamin, it's even more special this year because he's going to the game with his new friend, 7-year-old Alex Delaloy. Just another step on their already incredible journey. Not even Coca-Cola spends more time on ice than Keaton.
I've been playing since I was 4.
He'd like to play in the NHL one day, and he dreams with his eyes open. Thanks to hard work, he's become one of the better players in his league.
Yeah! He's a good player, yeah, and I'm not just saying that because I'm his dad.
At the line for Myers.
Now, Keaton's favorite player on the Jets is Tyler Myers, a big defenseman.
Walks in, scores! Tyler Myers!
And former Calder Trophy winner as Rookie of the Year. He was at a game last season when Myers scored the go-ahead goal. Myers was named the top star of the game as he helped the Jets beat the LA Kings 5-2.
The tradition here in Winnipeg is after a Jets win, they announce the 3 stars of the game, and the top star signs a stick and gives it to one of the kids in the stands.
And I was lucky enough to get the stick.
Keaton got the stick, whole throng of kids came over and they're like, oh wow.
When a boy gets an autographed stick from his favorite player, you might expect him to hold on to it for the rest of his life. You would not expect this. Keaton marched up the stands and gave the stick to Alex.
And I was telling him, no, like, that's not something that happens every day. You keep it. Like, Alex doesn't need that. She's fine. He goes, no, I want to give it to her.
For him to do that was you know, something you don't see very often.
How did you even know him?
I didn't.
Alex also loves coming to Jets games. It's a lot more fun than where she's been spending most of her time.
I had taken her into the doctor and she said it was growing pains, and I just knew as a mom that wasn't what it was.
It wasn't. After dozens of tests, doctors broke the news. Alex, then just 6, had acute lymphoblastic leukemia, cancer of the blood and bone marrow.
I got up to go to her and I fainted. I had no legs. I was screaming and crying like a little child on the floor.
Since the diagnosis, the Delaloys spend much of their time driving to and from Winnipeg Children's Hospital, more than 2 hours away from their hometown of Neepawa. And the worst part for Alex?
Needles.
Lots of needles. Yeah, that's the tough thing.
Like a million of them.
There have been a lot of bad days, but on one of the good ones, her mom got tickets to see the Jets. After treatment, Alex wanted to make and bring a special sign.
So she said, Mom, I want to put something on here about chemo and about the Jets.
That night at the game, she held it up, and a cameraman captured it for the scoreboard jumbotron. It read, "Chemo by day, Jets by night."
The entire arena just went crazy cheering for her, and we didn't even realize it was like standing ovation.
When When that moment was picked up by the local news, it went viral, and a young hockey player saw it and thought
that she must be a pretty amazing young girl to be fighting cancer at such a young age.
our lives all take different paths, but sometimes they intersect. And so it was a few days later when Alex and her family were invited back to another game, the game where Keaton got the stick.
He looked at me, he says, Dad, he says, can I give the stick to that little girl?
My parents always tell me do the right thing, and I knew if I didn't, I would look back and say, man, I wish I could have given her that stick.
After getting the stick, Alex gave Keaton something too.
I went down and gave him a hug.
That hug continues. The two families have become friends, and that friendship has become medicine for Alex.
How do you like hockey? I like it because it's fun and lots of good people play the game.
The real hero in all this is Alex. I mean, she's such a brave kid. Like, I'll tell you what, if you can't get strength from that kid, you cannot get strength from anybody.
Hockey still drives the conversation in Winnipeg, but they didn't mind this interruption.
You don't hear about stories like that too often with grown adults, so when a 9 or 10-year-old does it, it makes it that much better, I think.
Not many kids would do it, that's for sure.
If somebody in the world saw what I did and went out and did something nice, it'd mean everything to me.
It'll be some time until people forget the two kids who went to the ice rink and melted our hearts.
It's priceless. Absolutely priceless.
Well, we are so happy she is able to be here tonight to honor Keaton. Along with her mom, Jody, let's welcome Alex Delaloy. And what a gesture by the St. Louis Blues to be represented by one of their all-time greats. Here to help Alex present the Musial Award, the Golden Brett Hall. And from Winnipeg, Canada, let's salute Keaton Hamin.